Hello everyone and welcome back to the Battlecast. In today's video we are going to be playing Sea of Legends, an apt-based game. I'm going to turn down the background music, but just so you know it's there. And a couple things I just want to mention. Subtitles to the Klingon channel. Sea of Legends behaves a lot like a open world sandbox video game in that there are many independent systems running, but when they all mash together, some events get a bit zany. And so hopefully I'll clarify if any goofs come up. I kind of foresee there might be. It's sort of the nature of the game. Also, we have a puppy. So if you hear any noises in the background, that's something that might be happening. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do here is I'll kind of give you a rundown of what is going on with this board. So Sea of Legends is a big game. Don't let this, cute small board fool you. There's a lot of stuff going on, and with 4 players, it is very expansive on your table. So as a result, some things are cut out. Down here at the bottom of the screen, there's event cards and whatever. I'll pull them onto screen when necessary. Over on this camera, we have the dice rolling, which is fairly important, the lovers and the nemesis of our 2 captains, and of course the factions we have present on the board. In a nutshell, Sea of Legends is kind of a choose-your-own-adventure, get 10 notoriety and win. And how you get that notoriety is different. There are many ways to come to the same conclusion, and how you kind of want to get there based on your captain, it's up to you. The 2 factions we're playing with, or technically 3, is firstly the Spanish Armada. They're in every game. They kind of mosey on around, capturing forts that have been taken from them, killing whomever they can win against. Next we have the Sultur, I don't know, what are these guys? Tzalduit? They're like a Aztec. That's why that word is so hard to pronounce. They're really interesting. They have these merfolk. I'll pull up this is what they're about here. Merfolk guy, check. Massive sea creature, check. Their objective during the whole game is to mosey on over to the corners here, grab these artifacts, and then bring them to Tortuga, where they summon their big creature and will win the game. Conversely, we also have the undead faction, the Dread Tide. Skeletal dude on treasure chest, massive skeletal behemoth. Their objective is to go around and corrupt forts. And so while I'm doing my thing, I don't want them to do their thing or else they're going to end the game. Okay, so now that we are moseying along here, let's go ahead and fire up the app. Oops, I'm just getting it synced here. So I'm going to push the Start Adventure button, and we're going to choose who's in this adventure. So we have Captain Ton, and we also have Captain Kahina. That's it. Very good. Now we're going to pick our lovers and nemesis. So Captain Ton's lover is John, and his nemesis is Olivia. How dare she? And then for Kahina, her lover is Magpie, and our nemesis is Josephine. Very good. Okay, now, I'm going to pick the Children of Talok. That was one of them, the factions that we're playing against. Okay, so it's got to generate whatever. Now, some things to note on the board here, which so now it's saying, which turn do we want to pick, but we'll hold off for a second here. So one thing to note is on the board, our captains start in specific locations. So Captain Tun starts in Claw Bay, Captain Kahina starts in Bridgetown, but furthermore, their quests or their lovers and nemesis and their captain missions are all spread out. So for example, Captain Tun, his nemesis is over here in Bridgetown, but Kahina, both her lover and nemesis are up in Skull Point. So if I want to do something involving them, I have to mosey on over there. Now, fortunately, the rulebook actually kind of tells you a little bit about your captain and, sort of what maybe a smart thing to do or a general idea of them is. So I think on a turn in Sea of Legends, it's relatively simple. Basically, you can move and you can take an action. And you can do that in any order, but you can't kind of mix and match. So you couldn't move one, take an action, move one. Okay, so I'm going to start with the first player, who's Captain Ton. Now, I'm going to try and zoom in here so you can see exactly what we're working with. Sea of Legends is a dice manipulation game where everything you have, your crew and your ship, which are seen down here, they are going to give you dice, and your crew are going to help add and manipulate those dice, including your captain power and your lover nemesis. In this game, we'll start by looking at Ton. His captain ability is for every ship's wheel or captain wheel rolled, you can turn it into a strength. So he's very good at fighting. His lover, Nemesis, or his lover, John, starts at his first level, which says for every rose symbol rolled, refresh one crew. And a rose symbol is the lover symbol. Olivia, conversely, is his nemesis. And for every nemesis symbol, which is the knife symbol rolled, you lose a strength. So when the nemesis gets stronger, you move this thing down, and she unlocks more abilities to basically screw you over. Conversely, your lover, if you pursue quests involving your lover, he'll get stronger and allow you to basically convert those rose symbols into very powerful stuff. So I'm going to start with Captain Ton, and let's see what I want to do with this guy. Okay, so Captain Ton is on Claw Bay, you can see here, and the action there is the hiring action. This is a hire action, this is a bury action, buy a ship and at the inn. So I'm going to go ahead and take a hiring action with Captain Ton. So I'm going to draw 3 crew cards from the top of the deck. Let's take a look. And here's what we got here. Privateer, Physician, and Notorious Scamp. Generally, the ones that are worth more are better. The Notorious Scamp, exhaust to change all daggers on a captain die into wheels. That's pretty good. Privateer, exhaust to change up to 2 roses into ones, and exhaust to refresh another crew. The Physician's a bit overkill because I have the John who refreshes. So let's take the Notorious Scamp. He costs 6 gold. I'm going to kind of just pop them on top here. Obviously, we're a bit tight for space, and everybody starts with 8 gold. So there you go. We'll go ahead and do that. And then, as per my ship, I can move 2 spaces. So Captain Ton, I think, is going to move towards Bridge Town. So let's go 1 and 2 over. Obviously, you can see the spaces. Okay, so that's his whole turn done. Now we're going to go over to Kahina, and I think Kahina is going to... She is in the Bridgetown where her captain mission is. You always start. So on the app, I'm going to select her because... she's in a place where she can do it. I'm going to say, go on Kahina's Captain Adventure. That's correct. Okay. Let's see what comes up for us. Outside a Spanish fort, you find an officer pacing. You're late. He pushes 2 crumpled contracts at you. Most of the other privateers are already on their way out to fight. We're being pushed back on the side by the Dread Tide, and on the other by the children of Tlaloc. Bloody Caribbean. So which fleet should I sign you up for? Who do I hate more, Dread Tide or Children of Tlaloc? I'm going to go Dread Tide. Undead. Smart choice, especially since our fleet has been claiming victories against them left, right, and center. Left and right recently. Those blasted Dread Tide are going to be on their knees before long. The officer pushes a map and a coin purse into your hands. Well, don't just stand there. Result. Gain 6 gold, +1 notoriety, and move your Captain Adventure token to Smuggler's Cove. Okay, so let's first gain 6 gold. Notoriety is a big deal. I can't actually kind of believe that we got one for just doing that. And then we move this to Smuggler's Cove, which is up here in the top. So that means if I want to continue that mission chain, I'm going to head up there. But for my movement aspect, I think I'm going to move up towards Skull Point because that's where so much of my stuff is. So, okay, so I'm going to, for my movement, I'm going to actually exhaust my navigator card. The navigator says gain a movement. So I'm going to actually now move 3. So I'm going to go 1. I'm trying to like move as far as possible. 1, sure. 2, 3, and I'll end on Tortuga. Okay, so I'm going to end my turn. So at the end of the turn, once both players have taken their actions, the NPC factions go. So first thing we do is we activate any NPCs on the board. And the only one there is the Spanish Armada, which is this kind of cute ship seen here. Now, in Sea of Legends, each little faction has this book. And the book, it's not very big, but it just kind of tells you like how they're going to move and what they're going to do. The Spanish Armada, basically, he only takes fights that they know they can win. And they move towards the nearest captured port, nothing's captured, or to a player, basically, or NPC. So basically, he's going to mosey on down here towards Kahina. Then what we do is we actually draw an event card. Now let me just give these a shuffle, because these guys tend to spice things up considerably. And here we are, Spanish Armada. So this card says, there we go. Sorry, increase the level. Increase the level of Spanish galleons, and if they have a strength of 5, place 1 Spanish galleon in a sea region. So this is this card here. So I bumped them up. They're still a strength 5, and now I place a new Spanish galleon onto a sea region. Now this is dictated by the first player, and the first player in this regard is Ton. So he might be like, I totally want to screw over what's-her-face, or I want to put him far away from me. Let's just put him over here, give us a little breathing room. So that is the first event. Now a new round begins. So Kahina gets the first player token. Well, I think it just makes sense to go to Skull Point, and perhaps we should see what this nefarious Josephine is up to. Or perhaps Magpie. So I think let's go ahead and we're going to move first. So a movement of 2 to Skull Point. And then I'm going to go on a lover mission for Magpie. I think so. Yeah, so I'm going to use the app here. Go on a lover adventure with Magpie. That's correct. Oops. Okay. Magpie jumps out of a barrel and rolls onto the floor of your cabin, birdseed in one hand and a contract in the other. Captain, I've been flying in circles over this problem. The Spanish contracted me to capture Olivia for a very large reward, but I'd feel like the biggest buzzard for hunting down one of our flock. See. Encourage Magpie to take the job and offer to help. Suggest that Magpie should warn Olivia instead. Oh, Olivia is Ton's nemesis. So if I warn Olivia, I might actually fuck over Ton. So let's try that. Yeah, let's actually warn her. It's kind of funny. This game is kind of interactive like that. So let's just see. Sometimes you have to push a bunch. Come here, app. Aha. Magpie jumps to his feet, landing next to you. The scheme fits my bill. Let's do it. Magpie kisses you before showing you the letter, which points to Port Royal as a potential hideout for Olivia and a coin purse with a down payment from the Spanish. result. Gain 4 gold. Okay. Don't mind if I do. Let's put in a 1 and take a 5. Okay. Gain 4 gold. Unlock Magpie's next ability. And move your lover's adventure token to Port Royal. So that's right here. So now Magpie, not only does he, for every rose assigned, I gain 2 gold, but gain a bonus die for each gold you pay up to a maximum of 3 dice, which is very, very powerful indeed. Extra dice in this game, I mean, obviously that's really good. So that's her done, and now over to Ton. I think Ton is going to maybe go on a... So let's mosey over to Bridgetown, 1, 2. And let's actually have Ton go on the opposite, a nemesis mission against Olivia. Stupid Olivia. That's correct. He's in the app here. Let's see what's what. You wake at midnight to discover Olivia silently standing over you. Oh, Jesus. No, I'm not here to kill you, says Olivia with a wink. If it was, you'd be dead. Here's the deal. I'm planning to break into an abandoned fortress. It's full of traps and treasures. I need someone skilled to aid me, and that's you. So what do you say, Captain? She's pretty sweet nemesis, honestly. So, yeah, sure. Okay. Thanks for not killing me in my sleep. Perhaps you should have a little more respect. Great. Olivia claps you before tossing you a small coin purse. A little something to whet your appetite then. You'll find me at Bridgetown. Do not make me wait again. You look into the coin purse to count the coins, and upon looking back, whew, she's gone. Gain 4 gold. Okay. Ton's broke because I had to recruit another crew member, so that puts him up to 6 gold. Remove Olivia's last ability. So she actually has no ability now because she just unlocked her first, which is quite nice. Move your nemesis adventure token to San Juan, which is just right here. Okay. And that's the turn done because I, moved whatever. So we do the NPCs first. Again, they're going to be controlled by Kahina. So if there's a tie, they probably wouldn't go towards her. Unfortunately, this one is closer. So he's coming up. This guy is actually, he can, this Spanish galleon will move into our boy Ton's space there. And let me show you what they do. So, move towards the nearest player. When entering a region, compare the strength. If the Spanish galleon's strength is greater than or equal to the strongest hostile NPC to defeat them, all attacked players in the region exhaust 1 crew. So he comes in and he does his region attack. He just hits. I have to exhaust a crew and flee. So which crew member will Ton want to exhaust? Probably the navigator. I don't think I need the extra movement here. I don't think so. Yeah. Nope, I think I'm fine. So, okay. And then I have to flee, so whatever. I guess I'll move over there. And then we draw a new event card. And the event is... Dun, 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 Dread Tide, baby. Increase the level of undead soldiers. Place 1 undead soldier in Smuggler's Cove and Nassau. So, let's grab these guys. So where's Smuggler's Cove? Up here. And Nassau is here. And we increase their level, their strength to 3. Very good. And these events ramp up. Definitely they do. First player token goes over to Ton. Now the cool thing about the Spanish galleons is that they actually interact with the other NPCs. I mean, if you don't give them a reason to come at you, they actually can help stem the tide against this undead horde. So, yeah, okay. With Ton, who is first now, I'm actually going to go 1, 2, and I'm going to challenge this port. I'm going to try and take over this baby. Yeah, so, and because my lover's mission here, it's kind of a good place to hang out. So when I challenge this port, I need to beat its strength of 6, which is noted in the green. I'm going to take all these dice and just move them to the side because there's a ton of them. But when you start a challenge, when you initiate a challenge, you always start with 4 of your captain die. And then you kind of ramp up from there. So I'm going to exhaust my gunner, who reads gain a bonus die. So great. The bonus die are white. My ship has 1 cannon, so I actually gain another bonus die from there. And that's actually it. Ooh, gosh, strength 6? Well, let's dare to dream, baby. So what do we roll? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Perfect. And look at that. So if the nemesis had been in effect, Olivia, I would have actually dropped down from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The perfect 6 to a 5 and fail this. But because I actually did my nemesis mission and she no longer is kind of out to get me right now, I get a perfect 6. And I could, fortunately, use my notorious scamp to bail myself out had I not have kind of chilled her out a little bit. So I succeed. I actually succeed at this mission. I get 10 gold as indicated by this number here. That's kind of the reward, 10 gold. I also get to put down my captain's flag saying, I have captured this port, and at the end of my turn, which is right now, I get 2 gold, and I will get 2 gold every time at the end of my turn, so long as that port stays in my possession. So way to go, Ton. Your captain ability did nothing, but your attention to your nemesis paid off. Now we're going to go to Kahina, who's up in the top left there in Skull Point. And the Spanish galleon is closing in. And as much as I'd love to capture Skull Point, the galleon actually is going to go kill this skeletal dude, as long as I don't kind of piss it off. So in that regard, I think my plans have to change, and maybe I will go down to Port Royal and follow up with my lover, Magpie, and I think I will. So I'm going to go 1, 2 down here, and I'm going to go on another lover mission, because again, that galleon's going to kill that undead dude. So here we go, lover mission. You and Magpie arrive at Olivia's rundown lair. You notice a broken window, a door almost off its hinges, as well as the sounds of rummaging and cursing from within. Magpie looks at you before eyeing the house. What do you think? Should we knock or just drop in? Let's just knock on the door and hope for the best. No, sneak in for sure. You and Magpie climb up and then slowly lower yourselves into the chimney. Pausing, you hear a group of pirates pillaging below. Bah! Olivia must be in Smuggler's Cove. Is she? Well, technically she's in San Juan waiting for my boy. Whatever. She must be in Smuggler's Cove, one of the loudmouths complained, but we're going to get that bounty. Get moving. As soon as they're gone, Magpie looks at you. Guess we know what to warn Olivia about. Right, because we're trying to warn Olivia in the attempt to screw over Ton that there's a bounty over her arrest. So, +1 notoriety. Wow, I'm surprised we're getting +1 notoriety for this again. Go, Kahina, go. Unlock Magpie's next ability, which is actually pretty dope. And move your lover adventure token to Smuggler's Cove. Now we actually have both our captain and smuggler, or lover token in the same place. And Magpie's new ability, I'll try and zoom in here, is for every rose assigned, draw 1 tavern card, choose an item or rumor to keep. That's a big deal. It's a big deal if we actually engage in some sort of combat. So that's actually pretty slick. So now that they've both taken their turn, the NPCs activate again. And again, based on whose turn it is, they decide. And again, you can, in a 4-player game, you can use this to screw over whomever you like. But I choose how they activate. So if I wanted the undead to activate first, they could both move here. And it's actually kind of a saucy idea. So the Dread Tide, their goal is to move together to form a horde then go destroy ports. And what we'll do actually is we're going to move them together. So they're going to move like this. And if ever they form three, they form the huge skeletal colossus, which is obviously a bad thing. So they've both moved. They only have a movement of 1. All the NPCs have a movement of 1. I guess it can change sometimes. Then the Spanish Armada is going to go. And interestingly, the Spanish galleon has an attack of 5. And he always moves towards the weakest NPCs, which are these two. Now, if you look over here, the undead soldier has a strength of 3 with an ally stat of 2. So that means any other one adds 2. So it's a 5v5. But in this game, the attacker always breaks the tie. And so both of these undead actually just get killed. Thank you, Spanish galleon. Thank you. And then this guy has to move over here to try and get back this fort. Because technically, I think he... Actually, the nearest captured fort. Yep, so he's... whose strength they equal or exceed. If no such ports have been captured, the Spanish galleon will move towards the nearest player or hostile. Oh, yes. So he's moving towards Ton, the nearest player. It's all good. First player token comes over to Kahina. So now what does she do? Kahina with 15, 18 gold. I want to kind of fight something because if I fight something, I might be able to roll some lover symbols. And if I roll lover symbols, I'm actually quite strong. So I might go back to Skull Point because then I could also buy a ship later, which is pretty cool. It's the closest place, or I could go to here, but I don't want to mess with Ton because he actually is pretty good to fight. So believe it or not, I'm actually going to move back up to Skull Point, and I'm going to take on this fort. So again, so we're going to assemble our dice. So I always start with the 4 captain dice. I can exhaust my gunner to gain a bonus die. My ship, which is the shrimp, it's just the starting ship, gives me 1 extra die. Now, Magpie's level 2 ability is gain 1 bonus die for each gold you pay up to 3 gold. Well, just the return on investment's so good. I'm just going to pay 3 coins and get 3 extra die because, of course, I might as well. And it also gives me a chance of rolling magpie symbols. So we're aiming for a 5, which is the strength of the skull rock. And let's see what we get. Okay, so cool. We've got a little, a little mixture of both, honestly. So let's see what we can do. So firstly, Kahina's captain ability says for every captain wheel assigned, draw 1 tavern card, then choose one of the drawn items or rumors to keep. Okay, so the captain symbol is not helping me in this fight. Josephine says if you roll 1 or more nemesis symbols, exhaust a crew. So that's interesting. And I have to look at the order of manipulation here because I'm sure probably nemesis goes first because it's going to screw you over. Let me just take a look. Determine the dice pool, roll the die. First crew, then items, then captain and lover. Then nemesis they go last. Oh, that's hilarious. Yeah, so the quartermaster is going to exhaust to change I guess one of the, well, actually, I don't think there's a way I can get this thing down. 5. I need 5 to kill it. Yeah. I just can't generate enough. Because I've only rolled 2, the most I think I can get is 3. So I'm going to fail, but I'm going to use Kahina's ability. So I'm going to assign the 3 captain symbols to draw 3 tavern cards and choose one of them to keep. So 1, 2, and 3. Oops. So here's what I drew. So these are, let's see. Some of these are item cards and some of them are relic cards. So if I want, I could keep the Thieving Parrot. Discard Thieving Parrot to steal an item or up to 5 gold from another player. Cool. However, I could also keep the Rumors, which are these here. One's in Port Royal, one's in Thieves Landing, both are close by, and these reward you with these relics, which are really strong. Gain a bonus die and another die in challenges against other players. Very strong. So I could, I think I'll go ahead and actually keep the Burbling Challenge, which is the goal is to go to Thieves Landing. So let me put that here, sure. That's a rumor. So that was from her captain ability. Then Magpie, I can do 2 things. Gain a lot of gold, I could gain 4 gold, or I could draw more tavern cards. So for every draw and choose 1 to keep. Wow, it's so strong. I actually am going to use both of his to draw more tavern cards. So let's see here. We've got a relic, gain 1 movement, or a relic, gain a bonus die for each port region you control. Now, those aren't actually very good, to be honest. I'm going to take the compass one. Oh no, but where do I have to go? Bridgetown? Oh god. And then the other one is Nassau. Okay, well, it's going to be Nassau then. Fine. They give you notoriety, so they're no joke. I'll kind of show you what happens to them. So I went up to Skull Point. Or did I start in Skull Point? No, I went up to Skull Point, yeah. Okay, so that's her turn done. I didn't actually take over the fort, which I'm totally shocked by, considering that I spent 3 gold to add 3 bonus die. So pretty weak shit. Next we have Ton, and he's in a funny spot because this Spanish Armada is coming over to him, but the Armada is not strong enough to take out his fort. It has to be a 6, and it's only a 5. So unless, well, no, it's not. So Ton is actually going to do a ship buying action because he is in a port that has the ship symbol. And when you do this, you simply just take all the ships and look for one you can afford. Now, it's no hidden information that the level 2 ship is worth, it costs 15 gold. And so I can choose, they're all the same. Petty's Revenge, Fleetwood, Driftwood, or Peggy. Obviously, we're going to go for our girl Peggy here. Now, this actually gives you a notoriety, so that's kind of cool. And there we go. We've upgraded our ship, oops, which is awesome. And Ton finally gains a notoriety. He has not had a ton this game, and he spends his 15 gold. And he can still move. So what was he pursuing? He did his nemesis mission, his lover missions there. I could go just take out more forts, which is kind of fun. Yeah, and my captain missions in Claw Bay. I don't know. These central ones actually give you oh, and when you take an action like buying a ship, you refresh your crew, which is pretty sick. So he gets to refresh his crew. Yeah, I'm gonna actually use my navigator to gain a movement to put me up to 3, 1, 2, and I'm gonna go up to Havana. The reason I like Havana is because it's a 7 strength keep, which is stronger than the galleon, so they're not likely to be able to take it back too quickly. Okay, so that's the end of the turn. The Spanish Armada's move, so he's going to come over here and this way. He's not going to go there because, again, he's not strong enough. But we do draw an event card, and it is the Children of Talalak. We haven't seen these guys yet. Increase the level of Merfolk Guardians. Place 1 Merfolk Guardian in Tortuga. So that's cool. So he is going to come over here. His level goes up. He's a strength 6. No joke. And he is going to go towards the edge places and try and get those little thingies. First player over to Ton. Now I can just take Havana here. Yeah. Let's try it. Let's try and take this Havana. Boy, oh boy, while my nemesis is not participating right now. So, okay. So we start off with the 4 dice. I'm challenging Havana. I'm going to exhaust my gunner to gain an extra die. Now my ship, which I upgraded, actually gives me 3 die, which is great. And I think that's it. So this actually might be a bit bold. Oh no, not for Tan. That looks really solid, actually. Wow. So these nemesis symbols, again, I would have had -1 strength, but instead I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then, because of Tan's ability, for every wheel rolled, gain 1 strength, putting me at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 exactly. Wow. So I get 5 gold for killing this fort. I get to put my flag down. I also gain a notoriety because the van is, controlled by the pirates or something. I don't know. And then I have my movement of my turn, and I don't know. What do I want to do? Keep tearing up these forts? Pretty sweet. Spanish galleons aren't going to be strong enough to defend that, yeah. Go do my captain mission, maybe? I guess so, sure. I'll move down to Claw Bay. And then at the end of my turn, I generate 4 extra gold because of the 2 ports I own, which is kind of sweet. So that's cool. Next, we're going over to our boy or girl, Kahina. Gosh, I think she's going to follow in Tan's footsteps, and she's going to spend 15 gold because she's at one of the ship ports. And she's going to refresh her crew, the 2 of them. She's going to buy a new ship. She's going to upgrade to the... Let's take the Fleetwood. It's literally the same as Tan's. They're the same. They just have a different name. So, again, but she gets that 3 cannon attack, which is pretty awesome. Oops. And then she still has movement. And really interesting is she's going to use the navigator to gain an extra movement. Now, when you look at these rumor cards here, which I'll kind of show you on screen, one says Thieves Landing, one says Nassau. And what's cool is that you just have to pass through these things. So she's going to go, oh, right. I can't move into the Spanish galleon space because he is not my friend. And if I move into his space, I have to initiate combat, which is a total bummer. Oh, I was hoping to go Nassau, Thieves Landing for just 1, 2. Actually, I couldn't do it anyway. Okay, so which one of these is more important to me? Thieves Landing is. Okay, so she's going to go 1, 2, which unlocks her. This thing just flips. It becomes the Duelist Sword, and she gets +1 notoriety while held. The while held is important because it can get taken away. And she's got 1 movement left. I suppose let's mosey on over to Smuggler's Cove. Okay, so that's her done. So now we have to activate the NPCs, depending on tone. Don't think it matters. Spanish galleons are not strong enough to beat this merfolk. So let's see what the merfolk's after. The merfolk guardian will move towards summoning relics. Those are in the corners. They will not move into the same region as an ally. If they're in a region with an ally, okay, whatever. When entering a region, compare the strengths of merfolk. And then there's this thing about them. It says here, if they are reckless, which they are. So they take the shortest path, no matter what. They'll kill anyone. So he's in the middle. And again, this is being controlled by Ton. So it's like, why would I send him towards me? I could send him towards... yeah. All right, so I'm actually, as Ton, I'm going to throw the other person a break. I'm going to move him here, because that's the shortest route. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, so I can decide. And they're reckless, so he's down for a fight. And the merfolk is a strength 6, and the Spanish galleon's a strength 5, so the Spanish galleon actually gets killed by the merfolk. Wow. Next we have, and they're a movement 1. Next we have the Spanish galleon, who can't take Havana, it's too strong, therefore he has to move towards Kahina. And those are all the NPCs done, and now we draw an event card. And the event is, oh dear God, things are ramping up here. So, sorry, increase the level of merfolk guardians. So this is actually kind of interesting. So now they're strength 7, and I'll show you here now, they're cumulative, these cards. So I place 1 merfolk guardian in Tortuga. So here he is here. But I also do the next thing. Place a merfolk guardian in Skull Point, which is up here. What's trippy about him being in Skull Point is that I believe he just picks up this relic. So, yeah. Yep, so he just picks up that relic, and next turn he's going to start dragging that thing towards Tortuga to summon his boy, the big dude. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please consider supporting the channel by liking this video or subscribing to the channel, and especially hitting that bell icon. Feel free to leave comments in the comments section below. I love talking with you guys. Until next video, I'll see you then. Thanks.